Welcome back, folks, to Mega Man 8, here on the heavybass channel. Last time, we discovered an island in the midst of nowhere, turning out to be the unknown island Dr. Wily, and now 4 robot masters are loose on the world, containing evil energy, or whatever the substance that Dr. Wily has founded. And our first port of call, surprisingly, is this chap here. Grenade Man. Not gonna lie, he's actually a good character. He's basically got explosive personality, and his actually shows. He's also a fun enemy to face. Anyway, this is pretty much the first of the 8 stages. There are a lot of changes in the franchise. They made a ton of changes in this game. That is a lot different. Noticing as well the graphical upgrade, which sort of looks like a cartoony style. But of course, since this is the most progressive of Mega Men's ever, because you know how the sequels reverted back to their new age retro that started a lot of stuff. I don't mind. 11's okay. 11 was actually more interesting. I still haven't beaten the wider levels, but from what I understand, and I do, the 8 robot masters that are in 11 are actually the best. Are actually an actual good bunch of peeps. Although, to be honest, I don't think no one's ever going to top the group of Mega Man 9. But I think they tried, and it really shows too. A good bunch of robots. So here in this bit here is the first instance of platforms become sort of like, you know, indications. You can blast the teal and yellow blocks, but but you cannot destroy the metal parts. Also, if you integrate yourself with all this stuff here, you can destroy them and create a bit of explosive platforming. It's basically, I guess, to show off the power of the PlayStation. Yeah, and they also did a version for the Saturn, and the Saturn has a couple of unique things that trumps this version. The problem is, though, and I doth declare, and I have to say, both versions are better, although the Saturn's exclusives are better. The Tengu Man theme in the Saturn version is heck of a lot better than what we got for this one. But Grenade Man still has a good few personalities now. You're probably wondering why I picked him first. Well, you're not going to believe this as much as anything else, but Grenade Man actually has a very useful weapon. That, in my estimate, is actually underrated because not many people like the game. So you saw that he used the explosive platforms to go to, the explosive platforms were introduced in 7, and they made their introduction in 6, and then they retrofitted here. But here's the first of Mega Man 8's attempts. These are called mini-bosses. And this mini-boss in particular is a junk pile, but we haven't got much to go with, except for, of course, the Mega Ball. If you want me to be perfectly honest, there are a lot of better items out there. Which is true, there are a heck of a lot of better items. And if you keep using the Mega Ball too much, then basically when it does that junk pile here. Now, there's a reason why this game in particular, this one has, of course, the Mega Balls, for instance. And it is destroyed. This one has a few gifts. Rush parts are now designated as mini-boss rewards. That is the big difference. Which means that this is probably one of the only times in the series there are 4 rush specials and there's no rush coil. But there's a reason why I'm saying there's no rush coil for this game, which is a bit scandalous, really, because without rush to bounce you into the air, it just works out fine. Now, get through these platforms here. You need to use You need to wait till the hammers go into the screen, then make the jump. Now that bolt there we cannot get, unfortunately, because we haven't got the weapon that ignites the thing. As you may have expected, we need a fire weapon to ignite that, and it's going to be a while before you would do that. I would have to say you have to wait to at least... Not with this batch of enemies. And Sniper Joe is just Sniper Joe, annoying as he is. Also, the flame enemies are back, and they can eat and they can go right towards there. So this makes this segment a little bit harder. You have to rush this one. You have to not look back at all, because otherwise there are going to be problems. Also, this little bit of an escapade is going to make things a bit difficult. Because the bolt's there, we need to like make sure that nothing happens. And then we have to force this one. So normally this would be the part where you can use, say, the rush bike. It gives you a bit of extra speed, but as you can see there's no need if you know what you're doing. Last bit of platforms coming up, and we'll be good. And we'll be good to go for Grenade Man. Because we're on that. So yeah, if you fall down those platforms, you're going to be dead. Head towards the thing, like so. Get to that, and then go through the newly designated Wily doors, and we get our first boss, Grenade Man, and he just literally blows himself through the walls. Love this guy. He's really good, but he's predictable. He's actually rather easy to beat, surprisingly. All bosses are predictably easy to beat. Grenade Man's is a bit more fun since he has a weapon called the Flash Bomb, which is really fucking powerful. But, as I mentioned before, there's a hidden function behind the Flash Bomb, apart from it being a really powerful explosive device. And personally, at that point, I personally think the weapon is really good. In fact, I think it's the third best, surprisingly, the third best weapon in the series. And that says a lot, because a lot of people don't know about the usefulness that is this weapon. And I just killed him. And he blows up quite easily. But he's left behind some evil energy. Which is weird, because that's the stuff that Wily picked up right at the very start. And we get a weapon from this one. We now get a newly odd color because of the 32-bit of the PS1's graphics. We get Flash Bomb. Now, Flash Bomb's really good. It is an explosive weapon that does simultaneous damage. Think of the Charge Buster from Mega Man X4. But there's a hidden function behind this weapon as well, which a lot of people don't know. It's the game's shield weapon. Now, what I say about shield weapon is quite simple. The shield weapon basically protects yourself, but it's a side effect because when Flash Bomb is used, you don't get damage from the explosive at all. Also, we can go back to America and go back to Dr. Light's lab, so Roll prepares power-ups as well. We can ask for parts, which is true, but here's the kicker. There's a finite amount of bolts in this game you have to collect in each of the levels. We have 7, we collected 4, we're missing 1 more from Grenade Man's level. And there's some really good items here, including a couple of laser beams, which I think are particularly powerful, but you don't be able to get the rest till later, which is true. Now, we're not gonna do this immediately. We're gonna get these upgrades at pretty much when we beat the rest of the bosses. But some of these are good, and some of these are god awful, which is a real shame. You can also save here, and you can use the options mode. But that's really about it. So yeah, I mentioned before, Flash Bomb is not only the explosive device in the game, but it's also the game's shield, and it is really, really good. You do not take damage. If you stay in the explosion, you don't take damage. The enemies take damage, but not you. It is a great shield weapon, surprisingly good. And next time on Mega Man 8, we got one big boy in the top right that needs killing with this new weapon. See you guys next time. Bye for now. Can't believe he's the general.